Okay, guys, and ladies, we welcome you to the last press conference here at the facility because the new practice facility will be open up in a week or so. I'm glad to have everybody here. Very excited about the upcoming season. It's amazing as I keep going through this league and this day comes up, I still get that a little tingle about the season and what to expect and what we have, and optimistic about the year. And we'll get into it, and I'll take anybody's questions. But press conference here at the facility because okay, guys, and ladies, we welcome you to the last press conference here at the facility because the new practice facility will be open up in a week or so. I'm glad to have everybody here. Very excited about the upcoming season. It's amazing as I keep going through this league and this day comes up, I still get that a little tingle about the season and what to expect and what we have, and optimistic about the year. And we'll get into it, and I'll take anybody's questions. But I really believe in the off season with a trade, with the funds we had available in free agency. We got players here that there's no question our depth has improved. So it's going to be fun to see. We have as I've said over and over, the best thing I've done here in a little over a year was bring in Dwayne Casey. I wish I could tell you it was a superstar player, but we have Dwayne, and Dwayne is a terrific basketball coach and person. And so I feel with this added talent, he'll get the most out of it, and then we'll have to see how that folds and what kind of team we are as the season moves forward. So for that, I'll open up to any questions anyone has. Andre is eligible for an extension. We don't talk about contracts or negotiations, but he is eligible right now for an extension. We think, as I said, I'm not going to talk about negotiations. We really like Andre, the person and the player, so you never know what occurs, how it's going to happen, but we like the player, and as I said, we like the person. Yeah, that's a good question. Not to be disparaging about players that were here, but I think it's gotten considerably better when you put Derrick Rose in at that point guard position coming off the bench. He can move Reggie Jackson over to the 2. Derrick had a terrific year last year. I think he averaged 17 points a game on fairly limited minutes. He brings that grit. He brings the grind. He's been through the wars. He knows what it's all about. So from that standpoint, it's exciting. Also at the 4 spot, I think we're very fortunate to get Markieff Morris, another gritty, tough guy who we bring to the, not going to back down to anybody. That's what I like about these two guys. They're not backing down. They're not going to be in awe of anybody they play. And then you add, and I don't know if Luke's going to start or not, but then you have a Luke Kennard who I think is going to have a terrific year. I thought he got better as the year progressed last year. He was our best player in the playoffs against Milwaukee. If he keeps that trend, that's pretty good second unit. And then who else plays? It's up to the coach. Will Svi get some minutes because he's a very, very good shooter? Will Thon get minutes? Will Drummond play a lot at the second unit when Blake is out? So I think there's a lot of options that we've helped ourselves depth-wise. And then I didn't even say Langston Galloway, who can make shots also. So I think we got better, definitely depth-wise, and in that second unit.
And the projections were 37, 34, depending on who you ask, for wins this season. How confident are you that those new faces that you brought in are going to be able to change and make it at least a debate about what this team
Well, I've always told my boys never gamble. The projections you see those casinos, they must win a lot of money from the people. So I don't look at the projections. You know, that's fun for the pundits and the analytical people to figure it out. I've been on both sides of that where our team was supposed to be really good and we didn't make the number. Our team wasn't supposed to be good and we blew by the number. I think there's ifs on any team, and we have ifs. You know, health is a big thing for us, how we mesh. But as I said before, I like the idea that we have veterans here with a group of young guys. So we have a nice veteran group with young guys that are getting better and aspiring to play that are not in awe, meaning our veterans don't care who's on the other side of the ball. That to me is very important. I like that gritty type of player, and I think we've brought in a few of them. I'm sorry. Well, Joe will be fighting for that 15th spot on the team. Joe has, when you look at professional, Joe has all the traits you need to be a professional. That doesn't hurt our team to have a guy like that. It doesn't hurt the younger players to see the work ethic that Joe can bring to the table. Plus, Joe can score. I don't care. People are going to say he's 38. I understand he's 38. It wasn't that he did well in the 3-on-3 tournament that's why we brought him in. 3-on-3 league, I should say. Joe still, we think, has something left to prove. That's what he wants to do. And every team, and especially us at times, when we needed to go get a bucket or a good shot, there's going to be times where Joe's going to be able to do that. So there'll be, I think the coach will pick his spots where he'll play Joe, but we feel Joe can contribute. Well, you never know what can happen. You know, there's various options, but right now, that's what most people would look at because one's non-guaranteed and one has a partial guarantee. So, but there could be other options as the preseason goes on. Yeah. Well, the question's about Blake and getting hurt before the playoffs, and are we going to have any type of, let's call it a maintenance program? I think we're going to look at that, and we'll look at that with all the older veterans, not to run them into the ground. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint, and we have, I believe, and I'm prejudiced, but I think we have the best medical and performance staff there is, or as good as anyone in the NBA, with Arnie Canner as a consultant. So we're going to look at all the players, especially the older players, and make sure we get the best out of them as opposed to pushing them and maybe going over the line. Thank you, everyone. Appreciate it. Good to see everyone. We'll talk about your vacations later on.
How you doing, Mark? Good to see you. Everybody ready? First of all, I knew a lot of you guys and ladies worked with Fred McLeod. I just want to take a moment to honor him. Every time that Cleveland kicked our butts in Toronto, he was always a nice-faced, warm voice, and I'm sure you guys had a great relationship with him also. But a good man, good basketball man, and I know people in Cleveland, people here we're better off to have known him. Well, if you look at our statistics as the season went on from February 1st to April 1st, our offensive output we were far more efficient. We shot the ball better. We got the right shots. And as simple as it sounds, we made shots. I think we got used to the system that that we implemented last year, the three-point shooting system. So I would see, my hope is that area will continue, the offensive side. I thought we were solid defensively. We weren't great containing the ball, protecting the rim. We struggled in that area, but overall, we did an excellent job of covering the three-point line. I think we were ninth or something, and we were number one going into the All-Star break. So that was an area that was a big positive for us on the defensive end. Well, I would say it'd be easy, but we have, 8 new faces coming in to this year, so we're kind of cranking it back up again from start. Told the guys last night that the guys that were here last year are probably going to be bored with what I'm going to say, because I wanted to start from scratch because we did have so many new people on the team. So, but again, a little bit easier because the core guys, whether it's Blake, Andre, Reggie, Langston, Luke, all those guys, core guys understand the culture, understand our identity, what we're trying to do offensively and defensively. So that makes it a little bit easier. Never easy, but a little easier. John, not really. On paper with the numbers, he doesn't fit well with the first unit, but he is one of our most talented players. And so, but the job that we have as a coaching staff is to fit in where he's going to go, whether it fits in better with gives us balance with the first unit or the second unit. He is one of our best three-point shooters, but I think we take away from some of his strengths with the first unit because there's only so many pick and rolls that you're going to be able to have, or ball handling situations. And I don't know if his strength is spot up shooting. I think his top strength is his pick and roll game. And so, again, that's something that I'm going to have to be honest, to have to see play out here in the next month or so. Well, it's very important. I've joked about it. I guess I'm old school when it comes to, guys playing a little nicked up or whatever. But again, it's a new day with new medicine, new scientific information, the information that we have as a league, and to take care of players, to make sure they're healthy and fresh at the end of the year. It's changed me somewhat by, reading and listening to the doctors, listening to our medical people. We want to be prudent. And so there is something to it, as far as making sure you don't overuse horses. Players is like horses, they're even scientific in training horses today. So, we have to be smarter, and I have to be smarter in how we use guys definitely from practicing from a practice standpoint, shoot around, and utilize that information as much as possible. Well, we want to continue to get better defensively. I think we were 12th in defensive efficiency last year. And again, continue the trend that we were making offensively. It's a three-point shooting game. Our guys worked their behinds off this summer with their three-point shooting. We're going to continue to do that to make sure we take smart threes. And again, as we did after February 1st, continue to make them. And I think it's a comfort level. Guys started to make sure they understood the shots that we wanted. And that doesn't mean we don't take mid-range shots. There's a number that we have for that. But just the rhythm, the feel for it, I think our guys got comfortable with that. So we want to make sure we utilize that. Now, the other challenge we have is implementing a guy like Derrick Rose along with Luke. He's a dominant ball handler. He's a go-to guy with our second unit. So getting all those guys together, integrating a guy like Tony Snell. So there's a lot of new faces to have to come in and get used to the style of play and our system, even though the core group understands it. Right.
How do you stop him from getting hit in the second? So good ball is
Well, again, if we want to be technical about it, it's probably because there's three ball handlers in that first unit, three pick and roll guys, including Blake. If you put Luke in there, where in the second unit he'd be the number 2 guy, most likely, as far as a pick and roll game, ball handling, making plays off the dribble type thing. So if we look at it that way, Vince. So, but again, Luke is a very, very important part of what we're doing, our team, our offensive output. He's only going to get better, and I see a big stride year for him this year just by being at year 3 for him. I think we were putting a lot of pressure on him last year, but it was only year 2. And I thought he made strides when he was healthy last year, and I think that's going to continue this year. Right. Right. That's right. That's a great point. One thing that I think, as long as that hoop is 10 feet high, there's always going to be need for big guys to rebound, and he's an elite rebounder, not just a good rebounder. Andre Drummond is an elite rebounder, and I think there's other ways that we tried last year. I tried the three-point experiment, didn't work. We kind of put that on the back burner. There's other things we're doing now to try to utilize his athleticism, his speed, his ball handling. And so, being creative in different ways to utilize him is huge, because if we just set him down in the paint or on the block, that wouldn't be advantageous to us. It wouldn't give us an advantage. So, but we have to find a way to continue to use his athleticism, his speed. He's one of the fastest big guys in the league. I think he was number 9 in shot blocking. So it's up to us to try to utilize different ways. And I know a lot of people malign Andre, but still, he's still one of the elite rebounders. And as long as that's you're elite in something, that's very, very important to your team. 24/7, and I as a staff, I take pride in our developmental program. We had guys with guys almost all summer working out individually, and we have an excellent group: DJ Baker, JD Du Bois, Alex Zampier. Those guys did a heck of a job of working with the players, spending time with them, working on their weaknesses, and knock on wood, we'll see how much it's going to pay off. And again, it may not pay off this summer, but with our young guys, especially with Bruce, his shooting will improve some. But again, like I told him last night, his gift to the team is he's an elite defender. And so don't forget what you do by trying to improve a weakness and contribute to winning by doing what you do. A little bit. They started from scratch with it. Bryston did a heck of a job starting from scratch and breaking it down where his elbow was in. And there's a lot of technical things that you have to do in the summertime. Right. That, it kind of goes to the point of being smart with his usage. I said, too many times in being from Kentucky, we rode him like a cheap horse last year. And again, if we didn't, I don't think we would have made the playoffs because he was that special to us. But again, with addition of some other talented guys on our team, hopefully we don't have to use him as much. I'm not going to put that in concrete. But I have to be smarter as far as the usage because he takes a beating, it takes a pounding, and it told on us at the end of the year. So, again, being creative how we use Blake because he is so talented and he's really transformed his game to fit the new NBA. And that was a great surprise for us last year, way he could run pick and rolls to way he could create off the dribble, and we utilized that. So that, along with his post-up game, that's one reason why his usage rate went up so high. And again, to win a game, he's one of our go-to guys, our closers. But again, being creative of practice time, whether it's load management games or whatever it is, we have to make sure we do that with he and also probably Derek in some situations. No question. And I'm going to say this about Tom Gores, and I've got to know Tom very well over the last year. People talk about him not being in town, not being here. He has put the money where his mouth is, where as far as into the resources, to the new practice facility. It's going to be state of the art, one of the best in the league. He's willing to spend money on contracts, but we got to be smart on how we do that, how we transform the team. But he's never said no on anything we're doing. Now, it's up to us to be smart in our decisions with our roster. But, again, our new practice facility makes it easy. The transformation of downtown Detroit is going to make it easy to recruit free agents in the future for our franchise here. Not to say the Palace has had great history, but the new Detroit and what Tom is doing with our team, the practice facility, LCA, we're in a great place right now. Again, not saying we're ready for a championship. We're taking big steps getting there. This is a bridge. We're going across it to continue to improve offensively, defensively, to get to ultimate goal, which is to win a championship. We're not here just to get by or just to get into the playoffs. We want to do big things, and we're building that foundation. And it's all because of Tom's commitment to this team, to this city, to our franchise, to our players.
All right, guys.
Thank you.
What's up, guys?
Yeah, I sort of consider this summer a healthy summer. In the previous 2, 3 summers, I'd had a injury where I was not able to even be on the court till like August or so. With this one, it was kind of a 4 to 6 week recovery. I think I was back on the court mid-June, so really only a couple weeks after I was last summer. So I really kind of put together the same plan, a little less conditioning. This summer than the summer before. But as far as strength, I was able to really be in the weight room, all summer and accomplish what I wanted there. And then on the court, just worked on kind of building upon the things I did this summer before.
Like, what are your thoughts on the new faces, the Tony Snells, the D Roses, guys that were added to bring some better leadership and some scoring?
Yeah, I thought we did an unbelievable job, especially given our circumstances with how our team is structured, salary cap, and the restrictions that we have. I mean, we added some guys who are very, very good basketball players, not only Derek and Tony, but Markeith, Tim, all these guys, Joe, all these guys are very good basketball players and also have been around and understand what it takes to win. So, I think our depth as a team has grown this year a lot, and also just our experience, obviously, just from the guys we've added. We were on the same McDonald's All-American team, I think, and then played against them all the time. I've been playing against them since we were probably like 16. Yeah, just like through basketball. Yeah. I've obviously been in the same high school class. What's up, Bruce? This guy needs attention, man. Just through the years, obviously, I've always been a big fan of his game and always pulled for him. So I'm really, really looking forward to finally, lacing up together on the same real team. Derek is still a very good basketball player. His run in Chicago was special, and to do it at that age, I think he's still the youngest MVP ever, right? It was. I don't want to say it caught us off guard, but because it was kind of the next natural progression for him, but. Just everything he did was at a higher level than everybody else, and he was great for the game of basketball and is great for the game of basketball. And even today, you can still see how many people are pulling for him and how many people respect him, and that'll be great for us as well.
Like with a lot of focusing on the Western Conference, how confident is this group you guys can compete and be one of the best teams in the East?
I think as a team, we're very confident. So much of this summer and so much of what we've been doing and what we will do during preseason is just about us. We have to focus on ourselves and really put the things in that we need to put in and be ready once games start. So I don't think we're going to do a lot of looking at other teams right now. Like I said, our biggest focus will be what we need to improve on, what we're doing well, and our identity, finding our identity as a team. I think that's going to be sort of a big theme during this training camp, at least for me. About what? About what? Oh, load management. I think that the way the NBA is moving now, I think we've put so much more emphasis and so much more resources and even money into our training staffs, the science behind the sport, and I'm a believer in science. I don't know that I'm just going to be that guy that's going to be like, well, back in the day they didn't do this, but guys are also playing longer now because they're taking care of their bodies. I saw the interview where Kawhi said he didn't think he could make it through this whole playoff series if he hadn't have done what he did during the season. So I definitely think there's truth to that. And for me personally, I'm going to let our staff, our front office, and our coaching staff lead the way on that. It's not going to be me going to them asking for games. It's not going to be them fighting with me. I'm gonna listen to them because that's what they're hired to do and that's what they're good at. And our training staff does and did an unbelievable job last year. So as a team, you sort of have to buy into your role. My role is to be a player. It's not to decide how much I play or how much I practice or anything like that. Thank you. I appreciate it. It was a lot of fun. Stuff like that in the off season is fun to do. Get a chance to sort of get outside of your comfort zone and do something that you're not really used to. It gave me some good experience, especially for situations like this. I'm already thinking of jokes for you guys. So, what's that? Yeah, some of it. I mean, I had help from some friends. It was a long process, and jokes changed over and over, even up till the last minute. So sometimes, I'd write a joke and I'd change a word here and I would go run it somewhere and it didn't sound exactly right and you change it again. So it's a collaborative process. It's not really like me sitting down and writing every single word, but that's the challenge, and that's what I like about it is trying to perfect something and obsessing over it until it's right or you think it's right. Which one? What? Oh, yeah. I mean, for us personally, we have to be a team that is going to outplay every team as far as playing hard and doing those little things. I think you look through the Eastern Conference, and the Western Conference is deservedly spoken about, but there's a lot of talent in the East, and there's some really good teams. So for us, as a team, Reggie, there's a team. There's a theme. That we have to be one of those teams that we're not just going to rely on talent. There are, just being completely candid, there are teams on paper who are more talented, or have more guys that are regarded as more talented, I guess. But I think we have the mindset to come in and compete every night. And if we do that, I said this last year, then the fans, the city of Detroit, the city of Michigan, the state of Michigan will get behind us, and that's going to be a big part of it for us. I'm sorry, what did you say the goal was last year? Oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I still think with a healthy team down the stretch, 6 through 8 seed was decided by, I don't know, a game and a half or whatever it was. So I still think we were very, very close to that goal. Obviously, there's a little bit bigger gap between 4 and 5, but for us, yeah, it's the same. It's the same thing. I mean, my biggest thing is I've been in these playoff situations where it comes down to a game 7, and playing that game 7 at home can mean the difference. So that should be our goal. But along the way, you have to have these smaller goals. You have to have these goals of protecting home court and playing well at home. And another thing for us, I think a big point of emphasis this year is going to be playing better on the road. We had a solid home record, but we weren't very good on the road, and I think that's going to be key for us to accomplishing that goal. It's just so far away, man. I've been a part of Team USA, and then unfortunately it was sort of taken away through injury or whatever it is. That, especially today, especially at the start of camp, my biggest focus is this team. So I'll definitely address that, at the proper time. Mm-hmm. I think, for lack of a better word, perfecting those things, or trying to. I think last year was a little bit new for all of us. With a new coaching staff coming in, you don't really know what to expect, how exactly we're going to play. I think this year we have a much better feel. even for the new guys coming in, they can ask the right questions, and we can kind of sort of give answers to kind of give a little bit of shape to that. But for me, it was about understanding where I'm going to be on the floor, and figuring out ways to be better, to be more effective, to get other people involved more. That was really my biggest focus. There were a few new points of emphasis, like finishing in the lane a little bit more creatively. But other than that, just keeping that theme of working on everything that I already do. Thanks, guys.
Damn. My main focus. Damn, shit close. Okay. My main focus this past summer was just to really work on my body, my conditioning, working on getting out on the break, making the right decision when I do get the rebound and push the ball. Working on the three-point shot, the free throws, the back to the basket game. Definitely my lateral quickness too, guarding anywhere from the 2 to 5, 1 to 5 really, all 5 positions I can guard. Other than that, really just I think it was a really successful summer for me. Yeah, a lot of ball handling drills I did work on this summer as well too, just being on the move because that's what it's going to come down to. I'm not going to be really playing one-on-one with anybody. It's more of get the rebound and get out on the break. So I got to be able to handle the ball the right way and be able to make the right play when I do have the ball in that position. Yeah, having Markeith here is huge because he does bring that toughness here too, along with his brother. Just having him here as well too. A few years back, they're pretty much the same player. One's just a little bit taller, but Markeith really good to have him for our team. He's going to bring a lot of energy off the bench for our second unit. I mean, I can. I mean, I've known them both for a really long time, but most people do get them confused. That's not something I'm really looking at right now. I'm worried about what I can handle today, which is, playing for the Pistons. When that time does come, I'll handle it with the respected people in the front office and get it taken care of that way. But other than that, I'm just looking forward to having a great year. Yeah, I love being here. I love playing in Detroit, and I love being here. This is, my 7th, 8th season here, so really looking forward to continuing my time here. Oh, I think for me that's a goal that I strive for every year. I mean, not really worrying about the contract year. Something I try to go for each and every year is try to be up there and all defense, all NBA, being an all-star and things like that too. My main goal is to obviously get in there and get it done, try to be the defensive player of the year this year. And, if I do that, I think we'll be a very, very good team. I mean, anybody that's watched him during that time knows the kind of player that he is. And he's a hell of a player, and I think he still is that type of player now, despite the injuries. He has he's fought through a lot, and I think where he's at today mentally, I think he is not very far from where he was. It's just getting his feet back under him again, and I think for this team, he's going to be a very, very good asset for us to help Reggie out, move Reggie to the 2 and put him at the 1 and have him run the break for our team. His body looks great. He looks good, and, I'm really looking forward to being on the court with him. This shows his fight and his mental toughness. I mean, he didn't allow those injuries to get him down. Most people would, be really depressed and upset about this situation of not being able to play for so long. I think he did a really good job of finding ways to take care of his body and finding ways to strengthen those muscles that were weak and those ligaments that were weak for him that got him those injuries. So I think he's better than what he was at, and I'm glad he's on my team. Adding those guys was huge for us because that did give us a lot of depth coming off the bench. Bringing in Derrick Rose, Markieff Morris, Joe Johnson, and Tim Frazier as well too when he plays the backup 1. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better group of guys to come in and take over when the starters do come out of the game. I think with Sekou, he's far more along than people see. He's very, very skilled. I think right now he's just young, and he needs to learn the game a little bit more. He needs to learn the calls. Obviously, he's coming from France, so he doesn't know our respected calls yet that we make defensively, offensively. He doesn't really know, how to translate the play calls yet. But I think he's done a really good job of coming in early and taking the time to watch film. He has done a great job of learning the plays and learning our defensive schemes with our coaches. And I think he is going to be a very good player for our team. He's going to be a very good asset and help us out. I think just his skill level. I think just for a kid being 18 years old, just how skilled he is with the basketball and the moves he makes is not normal for somebody his age, for him to play the way he plays. So I think when he finds the game, finds the pace, and, figures that out, I think he'll be very good for us. One more time. We need Luke. Luke is a player for us that shoots the ball very well. He makes a lot of tough shots for us on the stretch of the game, a lot of clutch shots for us as well too. And his development as a player is coming along great. I think he's worked on his body a lot this past summer, so he looks stronger, he looks faster. His jump shot, we already know that he can shoot the ball very well. I think his decision-making is something that we'll find out when we start playing, but I think he's going to be very good for us again this year. Yeah, Luke is not one to, speak up much. He more does it by his style of play. Excuse me, by his style of play. Pardon. One more time. Yeah, I would love to play in the Olympics. I mean, who wouldn't want to play in the Olympics? That's definitely a big time thing to, be a part of. I've been a part of USA basketball for a long time. So to play for that gold medal is huge. So I would be very honored to play for them.
Man, happy to be here.
Just wanted to get your thoughts on this roster and
One of the reasons why I wanted to come here is because of the depth of the team. We have a very long team. I think we could switch anything. We're versatile. Of course, with Blake Drummond. And, I mean, the big dynamic is huge here. And being in the East, I feel like you never know what can happen. So that's one of the decisions why, one of the reasons why I decided to come here, along with the coaching staff, along with Arn Tellem. He was my agent before he took the job. And the last couple of years, he's been mentioning things here and there, not directly, but you just hear it, and it started from there. I mean, it was like indirect things, like how would you like to live in Detroit? I mean, it never really was about the team, but it was more like of the environment and living here and how comfortable. And if I talk to my family that's here, I have family that's here too. So, I mean, of course, with everything that was going on, I'm just looking for a comfortable spot to play in and just opportunity. And here is that. Like I got all the accolades in the past. I'm past that. Like now I want to win. That's the only thing that's on my resume that I'm missing is a championship. And like I said, being here, seeing what happened last year with the Raptors in the East, me being in the West, coming back to the East, you never know what can happen. So you can put an X on it. So with me making the decision, it's like I just got to make sure that I'm prepared for anything, just making sure my body hold up and just being in the right system. Yeah. I think so, but it's all about just playing in the right system. I felt like I've been playing the same way the last three years since I left Chicago. I averaged 17, and it just went like under the scale where nobody really recognized and nobody didn't really pay that much attention to it. But yeah, I think I'm I feel like I'm a better player now. I'm more poised. I'm shooting a three. I'm more efficient. It's just that people love to see the reckless side, the reckless way that I play, and the reckless way that I played led me to my injuries, I believe. Oh, no, not at all. I mean, I played against him in high school, had a chance to play against him in the Garden when he was in Oklahoma, and you just knew that he was special, especially when he came in the league, and he's improving every year. So it's letting you know that his IQ is very high. He knows how the game is evolving and how he has to adapt. So with me seeing that, of course I would love to play with a player like that, especially someone that was in my class, you know what I mean? Yeah. You know, that last year is last year. That's in the past. Like you can never like dwell on it or like think about it too much or how your brain in default mode over last year. Like it's a new year. We have new people on the team and you gotta have expectations and goals. And the goal is to do better than last year. We're not gonna make it very complex. Make it very simple and it's just to do better than last year. But it starts with everybody having that common goal. I mean, with me joining the team, with my confidence, any team that I joined, I said the same thing with New York when I got on the team, and we had a terrible year. Like, until we start playing in games, like, my confidence is going to be high. My confidence is going to be at elite level. Like, of course, you all are going to have you all's expectations, but we know what we have on this team, and one of the reasons why I signed so early is because I see something. It's something that you all may not see, but I see something. Yeah. It was, I mean, in the beginning stages, it was all about just being stubborn. In New York, I didn't take any threes because I was stubborn, and I, it was just, I was just being stubborn. So it's all about adapting, what I was talking about as a player and learning with the league. The example that I look at is like Kobe. He came in just a straight athletic player, like didn't shoot jump shots like that, and he evolved with the game. That's how he was able to adapt over the last 20 years. Didn't change his game totally, but adapt in a way where he was able to fit in and stand out. And with me, I didn't take that many threes last year, but the ones that I did take, they were good threes, taking the right shots. So it's about being smart, learn the game, and one of the reasons, like outside of all that, is I'm trying to like grow as a leader and as a person. So me coming here, one of my goals is to be vocal in the locker room because by nature I'm a quiet person. So for me to get up to to take another leap, it's about being vocal, helping the young guys out with situations that they not used to, and just trying to find that common ground with everyone. I wouldn't say extend, but it's just a part of the game now. I mean, me going in the lane and shooting floaters instead of going all the way to the rim, I would say now that can extend my career for sure. That's something I thought about, but the three-point game is just prominent in the game right now. You just have to be able to at least, and people take them. They don't mean that they're making them in the league. You see a lot of games that like, man, that's a terrible shot. He ain't making. Well, won't he stop shooting? But it's about being efficient. If I'm making shots, you can't say nothing, and that's how I want to play. Yeah. Leave that up to the medical team. My job is just making sure that I'm prepared. What they say, proper preparation prevents poor performance. So just making sure that I'm prepared no matter what the situation may be. And like I said, my goal is just to fill everybody out on the team and try to learn and grow as a player in this league. Thank
What's up? What's up? What up? I had no clue. That wasn't even my purpose for playing in the Big Three. You know, my purpose for playing in the Big Three was, I had two of my teammates from college who was on my team, and just to have that camaraderie, have fun, and use it as therapy, just to have something to do. Obviously, I stay in shape. I work out daily, so I take good care of my body, and it just kind of organically led to, teams seeking out to, want to see me work out, want to see me play, and that's just kind of how it happened. Well, we got a great group of guys, man, who I think the sky's the limit. I mean, you got pretty much everything on this team. Where you got good point guards, great bigs, some wings, and then you got a great mixture of younger guys and older guys and vets. I think it can definitely go a long way. So I think we got a great chance here, and that's why I'm looking forward to this opportunity. Huh? Did I think about it? No, like it wasn't like I'm gonna play in the Big Three so these people can see me, and that wasn't my purpose. I did it just for the love of the game, just to go out and have fun, compete on the weekend, and like I say, play with some of my college teammates. That's just what it was about. Yeah. Yeah, well, Arn used to be my agent, before he took this job. So, when this opportunity came about, obviously, getting a chance to kind of sit down and talk with those guys, it was great. So I felt comfortable and I felt like this was a great place. And, I actually I didn't even go work out for like 3 or 4 teams. I had worked out for like 2 teams previously before I came to Detroit, and I had like 4 more workouts, and I just canceled them. So because I thought Detroit was a great place for me.
You say you weren't thinking to get back into the NBA. That
No.
was the reason you went to the Big Three. What's one thing maybe you missed about the NBA that now you're glad you're back in it?
Man, you can't make up for like the camaraderie you have with the guys, the bus rides, the flights. Those are the things that you miss. I mean, because obviously, as you get older, you can't play this game forever. So to be around the guys is probably the most thing that you miss the most. I just got to come out and play my game, have fun. There's no added pressure on me. Like I said, this opportunity came about, and I'm thankful for it. But it wasn't my purpose to play in the Big Three to try to get back in the NBA. But I still do love the game, and like I said, I keep myself in great shape. So to be able to get a chance to come out and compete, with these guys, it'll be fun. I don't know how much has changed. I mean, I think I am who I am as far as, a great veteran guy who can shoot, a great pick and roll guy, post up guy, and make plays for others. So, in that aspect, I feel like there's a lot of things that I can do to help this team. Thank you.
I feel the vibe's gonna be great. Just from the jump, I felt welcomed here, and I feel that we're gonna do great things with great chemistry.
We asked before about the composition of this roster, but even since then, they've added some more free agents. And the veteran kind of disposition that they have now seems to have added to that second half. What do you see from when you look around the locker room, guys that are in there?
Just a lot of hungry people. Just people who want to be hungry, ready to win wherever it takes to win. I see a lot of people who's dedicated to summer, to get better and collectively try to use it together to win. You said what? All my aspects, just working on my body, working on my ball handling, working on my playmaking abilities, defense, of course. Just a lot of things in my game, just whatever it takes to get better.
Is your attitude coming in the season that you will have that starting role as a three? I'm sure it probably hasn't been discussed, but that's looking around at what the other options are in your skill set. That's what it's leaning toward. Do you have that level of confidence?
My mindset is just get better, and whatever happens there, it just happens. Appreciate you.
It was good. Finally got a chance to work out, put some work in on my game rather than just focus on injuries and working on my body the whole time. Trying to rehab in that aspect, and it was just about actually getting better. So mentally, I think I'm in a great place. I feel good. Happy with all the talent that we've acclimated. It's always tough losing the guys that you have had, but looking forward to building these bonds, these new bonds, and looking forward to utilizing all the talent that we have to try to make a run and do something special this year. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm really excited about tomorrow, more so than today. It's good to see y'all, but I'm excited to get started. I don't know if you do professional sports, you ever say if anybody's 100% healthy. I mean, you know what? I feel as great as I think I could feel right now. I'll say that. So it could be like 120%. You never know. You never know, man. Oh, man, I appreciate it. That was all y'all had to ask? Oh, all right. My mind. I think the biggest thing is I just honed in on my mind. I think a lot of things in the world is energy-based, and you focus on, of course, you got to take care of your body, but if you take care of your mental, normally the body follows. So I just focus on getting my mind right, being the best place I can be, being prepared to play however it is that we're going to play with all these guys. Like I said, focus on myself mentally, how I can get better in that aspect, and then really hone it down how I can get better physically and being in the game. But I think the biggest thing I did was take care of my mind and think the game a lot this summer and try to figure out how we're going to accomplish goals that we want to accomplish. Yeah, I believe so. I think one of the biggest things I told Coach was one of the first days I was back. I think I've been back around 2 weeks now, so one of the first picks I played, I noticed was just the length. And even in the summer, actually, I told him that was first place in California. Was passes that we made last year, I think guys who've been here had to get adjusted to the new length that we had because they were now turnovers, unfortunately. So offensively, it helped us. We're actually better than where we were months back in California. I think guys worked on that, but just realizing the length, the ability that we have to be in the lane, to plug gaps, to show our length, and to give different pitches is something that's going to be very noticeable. I think that'll be one of the biggest changes that we have this year is just how much length we can throw out there and how disruptive we have a chance to be. So now it's on us to go out there and execute the game plan Coach puts in for us. You said a killer. I think everybody in the league knows who Derrick Rose is. Proud to see where he's come back from. My early years, he definitely was the face of the league. What he's had to go through, I can only imagine is tough, even from my minor injuries compared to everything that he's had to go and getting to the pinnacle, getting to the mountaintop, and he's one of the hardest workers I've seen, so I imagine it had to be tough coming down and not being able to get to where you want to be every day. And you're trying mentally, you're pushing yourself, physically, you're doing everything you can, but your body's not responding. So I can't even begin to imagine what these past years have been for him, but to just see how he is now, to see the mind frame he is now, I'm blessed to be his teammate. I'm blessed that we're going to get to not only just don the court together, but the plane trips, the bus rides, get to talk. I've already been blessed to meet his friends, family, so I'm just trying to get to know him as much as I can as the person, and I'll enjoy him on the court and what we get a chance to do together, getting a chance to watch him play, being his teammate from the bench at times, and I can't say enough about him. I think he's great. Like I said, there's great careers that have everybody knows have been harped by injuries. One of my favorites growing up was Brandon Roy, another one. But, yeah, when you get one of those players, they're transcendent. doesn't matter what happens from the day, but he'll never be forgotten from this game. And I think his impact just in that sense, he's somebody that's feared on the court. If he gets going, the name of the game in this game is you could draw double teams, and he'll be able to have some special nights where he gets it going, and guys are going to have to change their whole defensive scheme to try to stop him, and it's only going to open up the floor for the rest of us, and it should make it easy for us to eat. So those are the special ones. That's what Blake did for us last year. That's what he's going to do when he's coming in. We're expecting him to get going and be himself, to be very aggressive and be hot. That's something I've been on Dre about, why I think he's one of the possibly the best players in the league is the guy draws double and triple teams without ever even touching the ball, just in a screen and roll. So when you play with special players, you have to realize it, and you have to utilize their talents to the best of the team's ability so you can go as far as you can. You know what I'm saying? The league over here, they taking our height away. We got to do these real measurables now. So we tested both at like 6'2.5". I think we both like 6'4", honestly, but that's just me. But I think, that type of length, we're a little more interchangeable, and we definitely have the size to figure it out playing guards. Defensively, whether it be the one or two, how we're going to figure it out at times for the matchups, and then offensively, that makes it difficult. I think that's what a lot of Portland, they put pressure on guys in that instance because they're both around 6'3". They can figure out how they're going to guard, but when they're coming at you attacking all the time, I know my whole life, and whether playing pickup, whether playing organized basketball, you play two guards who can command a team. It's always hard. The more playmakers and just ball players, intelligent ball players you have on the court, that's what makes it hard to play and hard to defend. Yay.
I don't see why I gotta sit up here. Shit. I said, I don't see why.
I get you. We haven't had you up here.
Yeah, it's all good. I'm gonna go ahead. Talk a little shit. Talk a little shit. Oh shit, that joint on. Somebody asked me that question earlier, man, and honestly, they was one of the first teams that reached out. Obviously my brother played here. He told me a lot of great things about playing here, and I think that was the icing on the cake. That I can come here and be myself, and they accept me for who I am, and not have to put up this front. I can just be this tough guy that I am, gritty and hard-nosed. For me, man, as much as I can be on the court is the better. It's best for me. Not a lot of centers scoring the ball in the paint as much as they was, so it's easier to play the five because you don't have to worry about guys like Shaq backing you down and dunking on you. So it's a lot easier. I mean, speaking for big guys, I know it's tough, to be in the three-point shooting league like we in, and I think for me, it's better for me, better for my career to be able to play multiple positions. Hold up. Go ahead. Yeah, I did. Unfortunate injuries. I'm 100% right now, though. I ended the year off last year at 100%. People say I wasn't healthy. I played 60+ games last year at whatever injury I had, and that's more than 85% of the NBA. So I wouldn't say I wasn't that healthy. I just wasn't 100%. With the vets we got and with the young guys we got, I think easy top 5 in the East. We just got to put it together. We got to know that we need everybody to win every night. We got to manage guys perfect, and you just got to be vets. You can beat young guys to be vets. I think my honest opinion is I think we won't have no drop off with the second unit, especially with me and D Rose being able to score the ball and just being able to run. You have 2 veteran guys who got 9+ years in, so we know the game. I think we're gonna make it easy for ourselves, and I just don't think I think we'll have one of the best benches, and we won't have a drop off when those guys come out the game. That's the most important thing. I gotta look at the roster again, but I think so. I mean, I think that's what Detroit is about. So I think we won't accept nothing else. We got to bring that grittiness to every game, and I think that's how we're gonna get to the next level. Because we skilled, super skilled. Just got to be tough every game, knowing, it's an 82-game season, knowing that we're gonna need everybody to win, and knowing that this is gonna be one of the toughest years in the NBA by far. Coming up this year. Come on, man. Come on. You see what's going on out there. You see all the teams stacking. I mean, it's evident it's going to be one of the toughest. So all you got to see is guys teaming up. It's got to be one of the toughest years. No. Sheed is one of my mentors. So, I've known Sheed since I've been 12. Me and my brother play that way anyway. It's just Detroit accepts it because that's Detroit, you know what I mean? So I don't think that was it. Watching the years of Bad Boys, that's easy. That's what Detroit mantra, that's what it's going to be. That's what it needs to be in Detroit. All good.